couple of months ago, I reviewed the very impressive AKK 10-watt VTX, and I ran some tough penetration tests to see how the 10-watt setting compared to the 25 milliwatt setting. Now, this was a very popular video, but it did raise a few inevitable questions. 10 watts is a mighty powerful video transmitter that has legality issues in many regions of the world without suitable ham licensing. And does anyone really need 10 watts with all the associated issues of heat and high power consumption? AKK have sent me their 5-watt long-range VTX. There we go, that's in focus. And this is probably a more practical wattage, although I'll leave you to decide that. Let's have a closer look. Hello, and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. This AKK TX5000 AC long-range VTX claims to be the world's first small form factor 5-watt VTX. I mean, it's certainly small and is designed to fit on your drone or wing using a standard 30.5 by 30.5 mounting pattern. You get 96 channels. That's 8 channels in each of the usual 12 bands for 5.8 gigahertz analog video. Now, it's made up from a PCB in the middle here that's sandwiched between a metal bottom case there and a big heatsink as the top case, and there's a small fan that's built into the heatsink, and it all seems very nicely made. And with all that metal and the fan, it should help dissipate the heat that I know that this will generate, but I'm going to test that a little bit later on. Power output is selectable from 25, 200, 500, 1000, 3000 and 5000 milliwatts, either using smart audio or by manually selecting things with this button on the side here, just there. And you get pit mode as well, bizarrely. These LEDs along the side here show the various channel, band and power settings that you've selected. Now, you can power this off anything between 14.6 up to 28 volts, which realistically is 4 to 6S batteries, and the whole thing weighs 25 grams. There's no built-in microphone, which isn't really a big deal as far as I'm concerned. Sensibly, they put an MMCX antenna connector on here, and you get an MMCX to SMA pigtail to connect whatever antenna you want. And AKK recommend these tube antennas, same ones that I used in the 10-watt VTX test. You get the usual small manual in the box, and the AKK website has some very useful info about this, including how they've tested it to check the power output. Now, this is good because my little RF tester here will only test up to about 1 watt output at a pinch, and even then it loses accuracy with these external attenuators. I've left links to all this stuff on their website in the description below. There's a couple of JST connectors, and you get this cable that's included. Plug that in there, that way around. There we go. The 2-pin connector here connects to the fan, and the other 6-pin connector is for your battery, video, smart audio, and the associated grounds. There's also a 5-volt regulated output to power your camera. As is usual with these high wattage VTX, there's a slow power on, so the video amplifiers turn on slowly 5 seconds after the power is applied, so you don't get a massive power inrush at switch on. The price on this is $119 direct from the AKK website, along with their tube antennas and other VTXs, and all the links are below. Now, as I've said many times when I'm testing these higher powered VTXs, I don't plan to fly them miles away because I can't really cope with the jeopardy of losing something, and the simple fact that 25 milliwatts is the max that we can legally use in the UK. And this little RF meter, the Immersion RC RF meter V2, only works sensibly up to about 500 milliwatts, so I'm never going to be able to test this fully. So I thought I'd see how hot this gets on various power settings and check what the current consumption is. So I've got this powered up to my desktop power supply over here. We're running on 25 volts. I've got the SMA pigtail and I'm using one of the AKK tube antennas. And I've got my little cheat sheet here, little manual. So let's have a look and see where we are. Let's turn the power supply on. And he's whistling away. So 25 milliwatts is the first green LED lit up. So let's just check. And that's what we're on here. This will be really only for about 30 seconds or so. And that's completely cool to the touch. There's hardly any temperature there. But let's just see what we've got with this meter. It says it's 31C. It's just mildly warm. Body temperature, really. It does depend where you point the laser. And we can see that the current consumption there is, we've got 260 milliamps. So let's crank this up to maybe, I don't know, 1 watt. So that is the first two LEDs lit. So let's select that. So there we go. And the current consumption has now gone up to 0.5 amp. And how hot's this getting? Well, it's certainly warmer. I can touch that absolutely fine. So look what the temperature is. That says 55 on there. Hopefully you can see that, 54, that sort of range. Okay, let's crank it up to the full 5 watts. And according to this, it's with the two outer LEDs illuminated. So first out and hold. There we go, that should be on 5 amps now. And if we look at the current consumption, that's gone up to nearly an amp, 0.9 or 900 milliamps. It's pretty warm. I can leave my foils on there. Not too bad. I think the fact it's got a heatsink built in and a fan, and the bottom of the case is actually metal as well. That's pretty warm. Let's see how hot that actually is. "96, 94, 90 centigrade, something like that. 88. It's very variable because obviously the fan is blowing around. But let's call that 90. And when I touch it, I can touch it. That's starting to get quite warm. So you do need to be pretty careful where you mount this. You need plenty of airflow around it, even though you've got the heat sink and the metal case and the fan. Quite an interesting little test. If you're really looking for a high wattage analog VTX for long range, you should consider this new AKK 5-watt version. With the built-in fan and the heatsink, it does keep cool compared with the competition, but you still need to take care how you mount it. It needs plenty of airflow. Now, these VTXs aren't just confined to long-range drones and wings. I've had several comments in my other videos about using them in long-range crawlers, which I guess are disappearing off into the undergrowth, and actually signal penetration is more important than with wings or drones. And this is something I hadn't really considered until now. Maybe I should give it a go. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, do give me a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please subscribe. And if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can follow me there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.